Hello and welcome to a podcast about something. I have Kalvin here today with my buddy Eric. Today we are talking about good bad movies, and these are movies that most of the world thinks are bad, but we love them.
No,
and you know what? You guys love them.
People think they're bad.
That's probably true.
We'll all turn them on when they're on cable.
That's true.
I'm sorry.
And so our qualifications for this was they had to have under a 7 on IMDb, a 7 rating on IMDb, and most of them have pretty low Rotten Tomato scores, I believe. If you go and look, we didn't actually research very well into this, but we know they all have less than a 7.
We know they're not exactly critically acclaimed, so not by a long shot. But anyways, lead this off, man. What's your first one that you want?
Yeah, so the first one I'm going to go with Mystery Men.
Mystery Men. Tell me about it because, like I told you before, I haven't seen it.
Mystery Men is 1999-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Stiller, Kel Mitchell, Paul Rubens.
Kel Mitchell?
Kel Mitchell of Keenan and Kel fame.
Of all that?
Yep. Hank Azaria.
Oh, this is a winner.
William H. Macy.
How did this come out so bad?
This movie is fantastic.
Or was it before its time?
Janine Garofalo. Garofalo, that's her.
There you go.
Dane Cook makes an appearance as Waffle Man. So
you're starting to lose me.
The crux of Mystery Men is basically what if superheroes were real.
Right. And
there's this one, the biggest and baddest superhero in town, Captain Amazing, I think is his name, played by Greg Kinnear. Yeah, he's plastered in sponsors.
Oh God!
He's figured out the answer to life.
Ironic
Yeah.
To this,
Greg Kinnear is the main protagonist, and the main antagonist is Jeffrey Rush. Actually, a lot of great actors in this movie. Mm-hmm. So these other guys, William H. Macy, Ben Stiller, and Hank Azaria, have their own. They're a little small group of crime fighters that go out. Ben Stiller is Mr. Furious. He can get very angry. Kind of like the Hulk, except he doesn't gain any powers when he gets angry. He's just bad.
Goes belligerent.
Yeah. William H. Macy as the shoveler. Whacks people with a shovel, basically.
Pretty much self-explanatory.
Yeah. Hank Azaria as the Blue Raja.
Mm-hmm.
He is he speaks with a British accent and throws forks at people and spoons sometimes accidentally.
Is it effective?
No, it's not. And people keep asking him, you're the master of cutlery. Why don't you throw a knife? He doesn't like knives. He's not. He's the Blue Raja. He's not Knife Man or.
I'm making a great sell for me to go check this movie out.
Check the movie out. It's hilarious. So they do a getting the band together scene because Captain Amazing gets kidnapped and potentially murdered at one point. Yeah. So they go out recruiting more superheroes, and that's where all these other people come in. Janine Garofalo, as you say, I suppose.
I think I remember different imagery from.
She's the bowler. She carries her dad's skull around in a bowling ball, and the bowling ball has a mind of its own. So when she throws it, it knocks people out.
There's like a mystic touch to it.
Yeah, that one's got a mystic. Kel Mitchell is the invisible boy. He can turn invisible, but only if no one's looking at him.
I don't know what to make of this movie.
And if he looks at himself, he becomes visible again. It's crazy.
That is one of the more questionable premises I've ever heard.
Paul Rubens,
making me wonder how it got past.
I'm gonna go farther. Paul Rubens is the spleen.
The spleen? You don't even have to go.
He was cursed by a gypsy in his young days. He's silent but deadly, we'll say.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this movie?
I would give it a 9. This movie is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. I implore you to check it out. There's not a moment where I don't laugh in this movie. The bad guy, Jeffrey Rush, Casanova Frankenstein is his name. He recruits his own squad of evildoers to combat the Mystery Men, as they're later known. And they include the furries.
So this is like Infinity War before its time.
Oh, yeah. This is...
So you got Jeffrey Rush playing Thanos assembling a little black corner.
Have you seen the memes lately of... they say Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover. Yeah. Mystery Men was the original most ambitious crossover.
Actually.
Yes, the best one I liked was there's a Batman Scooby-Doo TV movie that they made. Somebody posted one of those. I love the Batman Scooby-Doo. Yeah.
That was fun.
So yeah, this movie is just off the walls. These guys are terrible at being superheroes, but they go out and do it anyways. They have a pool party at the Shoveler's house at one point, and that's where you get your Dane Cooks as the waffler. He's got a whole song and dance that goes with. He's got a theme song that he created.
Because of course Dane Cook would.
Yeah. Lots of, and this is Dane Cook before he's really Dane Cook. This isn't Sufi Dane Cook.
Is like those days where you heard his comedy sketch on a CD or something.
Right.
And you like kind of.
And he was actually good and edgy. And
that's how I kind of started to really like Dane Cook. Is from those little CDs. So just to know that he was like in some stuff before that, it makes me curious.
Yeah. The pool party goes off the rails pretty quickly with all these superheroes coming in.
So.
That's Mystery Men. Check it out. Men, not more than a 7 on IMDb. I give it a 9.
I'm gonna get myself psyched up to watch it. All right.
Get yourself psyched. I'll lend you a copy if you do.
You have it?
Yeah. I can bring it up on my phone right now if you really want to watch it that badly.
We'll save that for later.
Okay. That won't make good podcasting. Us sitting here watching. Actually, it probably would because we'd be laughing the whole time.
Not good radio. The one movie that stood out to me, and we'll probably both hammer on this one pretty good, was ATL. And I'm going to bring up a very interesting point about this movie. I'm going to bring up a very interesting point about this movie.
It's over a 6 on IMDb, but less than a 7.
I think that has more to do with the cultural impact.
People who saw it.
And honest to goodness, I back when this movie was getting made, I was like really excited for it.
Big Boy?
T.I. Big Boy.
Evan Ross.
Who, by the way, Big Boy did a really good job.
Big Boy played himself and did really good.
Drug dealer, gang member.
Big Boy played his early years of his life and did a great job.
Yes. So, well, I guess he's got enough life experience. Even the minor actors.
I was scared of him. I was scared of him when he was going after Evan Ross, who the first time I saw it, I thought was Chris Brown because I had a very crappy bootleg copy of it that I'm trying to watch on my computer. You know, in college, everybody's got the bootleg guy that they go to. Our guy, his name is Mike.
So let me ask you this question, and when we brought it up earlier, let me ask you this question because this is always something that I've kind of protested to knowing. All that kind of stuff, all the commercials you saw for it, they marketed the heck out of this movie.
Did not market it as a roller skating movie?
Bingo. Not one single roller skate appeared in a promo leading up to opening day.
No.
Not one. And the whole movie revolved around
being at the skating rink.
Freaking skating rink.
Big Booty Judy's party in the skating rink.
Oh my God. I was duped. Yeah. I felt duped, but I still kind of liked it because there was the subplot of the little brother getting caught up in the drug gang. T.I. was like this really great
hard worker,
you know, the hard-working cat, and, you know, and so I was, you know, even, like I said, even all the other actors played, I was so floored when they started roller skating, and all of a sudden it became this dance and something they did together, and it was like competition, it was like, bring it on, plus skating
it came out at the same time as Roll Bounce.
Inner city.
It came out at the same time as Roll Bounce with Lil Bow Wow. And Roll Bounce was marketed as a roller skating movie. And
you lived in Georgia for a while. Were you ever subject to this?
So, as a white male from not Atlanta, I think they did a great job of capturing the black teenage experience in Atlanta. I think that's what it would be. Before the show came around.
At least that's what we would see.
This is what I think it would be, yes.
Like at the time. Obviously, perspective.
Yes, I lived in Georgia. I did not live in Atlanta. I did not experience the let's go to skating rink.
South thing or whatnot.
No, I mean, when I was in high school, it was more middle school. You go to the skating rink. That was like the kind of hookup spot, the 13-year-old hookup spot, as it were. Like that was the thing to do, but that was because it was like a wholesome thing you could tell your parents you were going to do, and then. But that wasn't this. Yeah, that was not this. This is like they were choreographed. When Nunu came in, everybody was pissed at T.I. because like
there was no. You didn't see any practice scenes in the promos.
No.
You didn't see them like working together. You saw not.
Well, you thought there would be a lot. You thought there would be a lot more T.I. and Big Boy because that was the relationship they built up in the promos. It's T.I. and Big Boy in this movie.
That's my point.
And Diana Ross's son was like a side plot.
All in all, I still ended up liking it.
I love that movie. I give it a 9.
I still ended up liking it, but
I'd probably give that a 7.
You you sort of caught me off guard because I had no idea. I don't even know if it's true. If there's this underlying subculture of roller skating.
You have to think it is because why would you? If it doesn't exist, why would you choose that to be the place to fly?
I don't know. I'm not trying to sound naive. I'm just saying because just where I grew up, that's not a thing. Like you stop going to the roller rink when you're in when you're 13.
When you can drive, yeah.
When you get to high school,
when you can go to the movies.
When you cross into that freshman year of high school,
You're not
roller rink is not something you do around here. So that was something that completely, and all my friends, because I remember we all went together. We all went together to go see this movie, and I'm like, skating, huh? And they're like, yeah, I don't know what that was about, but I did like T.I. and Big Boy. Like, I could get past that because they did such a good job.
The plot was good. The plot was very good around, like, if they were just going to the mall and hanging out, and that was their thing that they did together, it would have been a good movie. It was just like you were thrown off by the skate, like that. The skating was the crux of the friendship
method of bringing them all together.
Right.
To me, it's obscure. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's a very common
I just
thing.
think from T.I.'s point of view, like he's the producer of this movie, like he's very Atlanta. I don't think he's going to put something out there that's not real Atlanta.
That's a good point. And like obviously, I've thought about that too. It was just, you're not going to have somebody like T.I. who, has this persona as, being a gangster rapper a little bit.
At that point,
he's a very intelligent individual. Like he's got a good acting resume.
He gave it to Ari when he kept wanting to give him gangster rapper roles.
No, I know.
He put Ari in his place.
He looked legitimately angry at the fact that his wife was pregnant again when he saw E in the last season. So he does a good job selling his roles. So
I like T.I. We might do a whole T.I. pod one day.
You haven't seen? Just know that there's roller skating in it.
Yes,
but it's still a very good depiction, in my opinion, and not that I would know, but of teenage Atlanta, I guess, in the inner city.
It's a good coming of age story of a girl coming between a guy and his friends, but not really like that type of thing. It's got a good
choices.
Yep, 15-year-old making bad choices.
After him, and all that kind of.
Uncle George eating all the cereal, and nobody else gets any cereal.
And then don't hide your cash in a subwoofer. People go there. That's the first place.
That's a bad spot. Yep.
Don't hide your cash in a subwoofer. So
and if you get jacked on the street corner under the street light, they're gonna go for your sock first too.
Yeah, they're gonna go for your sock first. So all right, your turn.
I got another one. My other one is Get Rich or Die Tryin'. This came out around the same time. 50 Cent, the story of 50 Cent. Mm-hmm. And see, this kind of threw me off about ATL because this was the same time you were in this era of let's tell rappers stories. You had 8 Mile come out a couple years earlier.
Right.
Get Rich or Die Tryin' had just come out, so you're like ATL.
Those are compelling stories.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they absolutely are. The Tupac movie they just made was not compelling, and that was a bad movie.
I think that was
Notorious. About Notorious B.I.G. that came out right around this time, which I would also qualify as a good bad movie, but we're not going to talk too much about that. Mm-hmm. So going into ATL, I kind of thought
the Tupac movie was so bad.
It was terrible.
I didn't know what the heck was going on. Like
it kept jumping timelines.
Yes, thank you. I was like, okay, where am I now? Is there
this
a problem with the program I'm watching this on? Because I feel like I just jumped ahead 10 years.
Yep.
So
anyway. That's a bad movie. All Eyes on Me. Don't check that out. Check out Notorious, 8 Mile, Get Rich or Die Tryin' ATL. But so that I thought ATL was going to be kind of along that same vein of like, this is the true adjacent story of either Big Boy or T.I.
Mm-hmm. But it was
about roller skating. So anyway, Get Rich or Die Tryin', story of 50 Cent. Did you see it?
Mm-hmm.
It is very.
I've seen it.
It captured. So my rankings of rap movies. Or movies about rappers is 8 Mile, because that's the best one. 8 Mile's the top.
Is it better than Straight Outta Compton?
Well, Straight Outta Compton is too
I know
true.
I know we're not talking about the era.
See,
I'm just
but
saying
Straight Outta Compton,
rap movies,
that's
original
true.
stories.
I'll give you Straight Outta Compton.
That's
but
hard to beat.
Straight Outta Compton is more truth than, well, potentially not, but it's portraying itself as more truth than 8 Mile or Get Rich or Die Tryin'.
To share with the general public about NWA.
Yeah, okay, so Straight Outta Compton, 8 Mile, Notorious, Get Rich or Die Tryin', and All Eyes on Me, like way down here. Like it's like under roll bounce, I think. But yeah, Get Rich or Die Tryin', it came out in that same time. 50 Cent's story is a really good story. Yeah, the dude that they got playing the Ja Rule part was they kind of clowned him, which was good because Ja Rule probably deserved to be clowned a little bit. Mm-hmm. His friend got paralyzed, and they tell his childhood where he's starts dealing drugs at 10. His mom's a drug dealer or prostitute or whatever she was, and then he comes up and then ends with him, or doesn't end. Like the middle of it is him getting shot 9 times.
He doesn't walk with a limp.
No. Shot 9 times, I don't walk with a limp.
So no, I thought that movie was
And then he
was
becomes
pretty entertaining.
a rapper. Plus the soundtrack was good.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
I think
the man himself had a little bit to do with it.
Yeah, well, I think that soundtrack is better than the 8 Mile soundtrack.
I gotta listen to him again. I can't really give. It's been so long since I
but the
really,
Space Jam soundtrack is better than
a whole lot of research here.
No research.
So I didn't go
going
back
into
and talk about soundtracks or anything like that. So,
Space Jam soundtrack is above and beyond all of them, though.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Plus on the Get Rich or Die Tryin soundtrack, that was when Mace signed with G Unit.
Oh, okay.
For a very brief period.
Yes, I remember.
So Mace is on like 3 songs on there, and I love Mace. Mace is great. Yeah. I wish he could have come back for real.
I know that would.
He had a rough couple of years.
I think he's just wasn't he a preacher for a while?
So he was good in the late '90s. Then he left to be a preacher. Then came back in '05. Came out with an album that was pretty good, but not very good.
I mean,
and then he signed with G Unit a year later. Did some mixtapes with them, which I really liked. But talking about good bad movies, that's good bad music.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have a podcast about good bad music later down the road.
They're not very good songs, but I loved them. And then he signed with Double MG and Rick Ross for a while, and now he's out in the wind.
I remember that too.
I think he's out in the wind now.
So I'm going to take this in a different direction with another hip hop artist, and his name's Will Smith. And a lot of people,
the Fresh Prince,
and a lot of people, for some reason, I have no idea why. And I'm not.
You people are crazy for voting this movie so low. Did you see the car chase scene in this movie?
I am not a Michael Bay fan. I thought he has put a torch to the Transformers franchise. I thought
the first Transformers was good.
I'm not a Michael Bay fan. The first one, yes, I give you that one because it was so new and different.
Mm-hmm.
But Michael Bay has ruined that thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, point being, Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2, the soundtrack.
Oh my God.
Shake your tail feather.
Shake your tail feather.
Talk about great soundtracks.
Talk about songs that you regret listening to.
No way.
I can't.
He did it, Nelly Murphy Lee.
I came up on my Spotify one day and I'm like,
oh my God, I turned it up so loud over here.
This is 13 years ago.
You're wrong.
This up. Now
no, you're wrong.
The skip button.
You get the.
I'm out of skips. God, I need to pay for this service.
You get the siren in the beginning to scare people alongside you.
You blasting your music. That's funny.
Is that
the chase scene in this movie?
I can't. I'm sorry. I gotta go. I can't believe you don't like that song.
The prelude.
We can't be friends. All right. I need a new podcast partner, guys. Call me up.
Apparently, I'm a free agent now, so call me up. But anyway, the scene leading up to the bridge chase scene.
I got so much grass, Popo thinking we mow lawns.
So they're having this car chase, and then there's this giant gunfight in between a park and a major intersection in Miami. And
Blondie dreads,
and then it takes off on this freeway over water.
Steal Dan Marino's car.
And then he goes, oh, you don't want this one though. He's gonna beat the dog shit out of this. I mean, I'm
gonna tell Dan Marino to buy this car.
The dialogue in this movie was so underrated. I'm like,
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith were great together.
This is great stuff. Like you could clearly.
I have a feeling Michael Bay didn't have a lot to do with the conversations between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
No, I guarantee you.
Because I've seen other movies with Martin Lawrence. Big Mama's House. Mm-hmm. That one. That's a good bad movie. That's a bad movie. Yeah. Black Knight, another bad movie with Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Martin Lawrence not good on his own. You put him next to Will Smith.
Oh, he's gold.
Mike Lowry.
Which I don't. Why did Bad Boys 3 fall through?
It's coming. It's supposed to come in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So
it's like Independence Day. Like it left and it came back, and I think it's supposed to come.
I know I'm getting off beat here. You know how Men in Black was supposed to like team up
with
Jump Street?
Yeah.
With the Jump Street franchise? Yeah. Okay, that's dead apparently. And so, yeah, I know. I felt the same way. I had the same exact look you just did.
That would have been a good bad movie. We would have been doing good bad movies part 2 and let off with that.
I would love to see Jump Street go with Bad Boys 3. That would be an awesome combination. I think that would be great. But
Channing and Jonah down to Miami.
Speaking of which, underrated character.
Gabrielle Union was so hot in Bad Boys 2 too.
She's still hot.
Well, yeah, but she's not named movies anymore.
She's married to D-Wade. She don't really need to.
That's true.
Anyway, when you can squeeze $24 million out of the Chicago Bulls for
37
games or whatever. Anyway, point being is the underrated performance was the captain. You know, when he calls them into the office after the chase scene on the bridge, and he goes, "I got so much brass up my or something like that, and he says, if they spit, it's coming out of my mouth. It's just like he starts, Captain, you gotta remember you woosah.
Woosah.
The impression
People
voice.
still do woosah.
I
see people do woosah
I
all
see
the
somebody
time.
freak out like, hey, woosah. No, it's just.
And then you got the Captain too in the when Martin Lawrence takes ecstasy, and they end up at his house.
Tell her I'm on
Come on,
the way.
I am on the way.
That is fantastic. All right, so.
And just the opening scene where they bust the KKK rally.
Oh yeah.
Like,
they take that
Michael
guy
Bay
and he's in a trunk
can
for
be-
like 2 days.
Michael Bay can be a great director, and that scene is like
The
fantastic.
cinematography in that scene is fantastic.
Same with the car chase. Like the car chase is good because of how it's shot, and they're driving
That's
the
the
Porsche.
sole scene that stands out in the whole movie. The dialogue as they're driving the car.
Car chase power rankings: Bad Boys 2 or Matrix 2?
Bad Boys 2.
Yeah, Matrix 2 is
There was
pretty
a
good.
boat. You had Will Smith asking Martin Lawrence, or I'm telling Martin Lawrence that his butthole puckered up. There is drama and comedic gold.
You got Morpheus on top of a tractor trailer with a sword.
It's just Will Smith's more likable.
Well, that's true.
So anyway, it's
All right, I'll accept that.
Yeah.
But I'll accept the other argument too.
No doubt that the other is formidable as well. But this one just. Speaking of which, future topic is
Matrix.
No, future topic of.
I can go all day on the Matrix.
I can't.
Well,
future pod topic would be, just some stuff that you can't turn off when it comes on to cable. Okay, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies.
It is.
When that movie's on, I'll leave it. I don't care how early. If it's just starting, I want to leave it on just to watch that.
Well, and I told you before, I hadn't seen Bad Boys 1 in its entirety until like a year ago because it was just always on TNT.
I saw it more than you did, but I didn't see the first one before I went to see the second one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I watched Bad Boys 2 because they showed clips of the chase scene in the trailer, and people were talking about the car chase scene. Nobody talks about Bad Boys 1, like any of the scenes in Bad Boys. I couldn't even tell you a scene in Bad Boys 1.
All I can tell you is about
I have like vague
Porsche
flashes.
driving through like the walls at the airport where they finally defeat.
Yeah, that's how you drive.
the antagonist.
Yeah.
That's how you drive from now on.
Yeah. And then the second one was that's how you shoot.
That's how you shoot.
Yeah.
Now I want my next partner to be just like that. So anyway, we got a fifth movie up, and then we'll start to wrap this up.
Movie number 5 is
The Expendables.
The Expendables.
The Expendables. We'll go ahead and throw in the whole trilogy here.
I've only seen the first one.
They're all bad,
I
but
personally
they're all
would not
fun.
qualify this as a good bad movie. I would qualify it as a bad movie.
Why?
I had a particularly bad experience with it, and it kind of
Elaborate,
weighed
please.
salty on my impression of the movie, and I've never gone back to it since then. I've dabbled in legal adjacent activities here and there. Getting movies from not quite reputable sources. That's all I'll say. You guys can do the math on that. But I got this movie from a non-reputable source, and a couple weeks later, received a letter from my internet service provider telling me I had done some legal adjacent activities.
I tried to watch John Wick once, and that happened to me, but it was an email, and I was like,
I got like a certified letter in a big. They put it under my doormat, and I really
Guardians of the Galaxy on the same program, and I get
right.
So.
It just depends. It depends on who puts the traces on it and whatnot. And this was a movie with a trace on it, and because it says the name of the studio in the letter of this studio. This is copyrighted material from this studio, and I said, oh, all right. And I went and looked up the studio, and it's 25 terrible movies and The Expendables. And I was like, it's got to be that one because I've never seen any of those other 25 movies, that's for sure. So, that left me a little salty on The Expendables, and I couldn't quite enjoy it the way I probably should have. But I get the idea that it would be a good bad movie, and why. So you elaborate on why you think it is.
And I'm not going to lie. I watched this. I think I watched the first one. I didn't go to the theaters. I watched the first one, I think, on Netflix.
Or probably legal adjacent means.
So I watched the first one on Netflix, and I had a great time. Honestly, yes, the acting is bad.
But it's supposed to be.
Old man Sly. Terry Crews.
I don't know. Old man Sly can hold his own if you've seen Creed.
He's doing great. Don't get me wrong, but the whole premise, and then you move into the sequels,
Where they bring in older guys.
So extravagant. But Jason Statham was fun in that movie. Even Dolph Lundgren was fun in that movie.
And that's the point of that movie. They knew going into it that that's what it was going to be. Yeah,
this was just
an action movie.
Man-filled action movie.
We need more movies that do that. That take that chance of just saying,
we're
here to have fun.
Yes.
We're not making an Oscar-worthy movie.
Yeah.
This is just going to be fun.
And listen,
and it was.
Action,
and it made money.
War-style action or this tactical team takedown style action that they do, covert ops or whatever.
I believe every movie Bruce Willis is in nowadays has that feel of, I'm just here to blow things up.
Bankable.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis does not feel bad about taking that check to the bank. And
I don't feel bad about going to see him.
So here's my point. It's just like, you know what?
He was a ghost the whole
watching
time.
It. I had fun. I don't care what the Variety says or the New York Times.
No, because that movie wasn't made for them.
No.
That movie was made for us that want to see old people blow things up.
Good point.
I want to see young people blow things up in your movie.
I'll probably bring the Hemsworth brother in.
Oh, they did. Which one? There's three of them.
I believe. Second or third one. Anyway, who's in one?
Chris or Liam? Thor or Miley Cyrus's boyfriend?
Who's Liam?
The third one's not really an actor. He was only in Thor Ragnarok
as Thor.
Thor. Was he Thor or was he Loki?
He was Thor. And Matt Damon
was Loki because he was Loki in Dogma. That's right.
Matt Damon making his
Dogma, great movie. Have you seen that one?
No.
Mallrats? That's a good bad movie.
No.
Oh, you gotta catch up on some 90s
90s bad movies.
Kevin Smith movies.
I do like Kevin Smith, so I might do that. So.
And we're back with everyone's favorite segment of Ask a 3-Year-Old. Today we have Emily here again. Emily, can you tell us about movies that you like?
Yeah. I like Funaguna Bambuma.
Funaguna Bambuna? That's not a movie, that's a book. What movies do you like?
Like, we can talk about movies too.
Yeah.
And books.
Okay.
So I like Funaguna. We're done with the books.
Okay.
Funaguna Bambuma.
Yeah.
Put on computer. That's when
yep, I'll type it in. Okay, yep.
Okay.
Tell me all about it.
It has a blanket, then you can take it off.
Oh, it has a blanket and you take it off?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And you kind of tease.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
I do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a color pencil, it's orange. I'm coloring bird seals.
Oh, that's funny.
They're orange.
Yeah, they are.
And the bottom.
So, do you like any Sesame Street movies? You're talking about Big Bird.
Yeah, that's the first one I like.
What's that?
I like Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay.
Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Can you tell me how to do Sesame Street?
So last time you were here, you talked a lot about princesses. Do you like princess movies?
Yes.
Okay. Which princess movie do you like best now?
I like Rapunzel.
Mm-hmm.
I like Cinderella.
What do you like so much about Rapunzel?
I has she sings and wandering.
Mm-hmm.
I like this like Rapunzel.
Okay.
So.
That's cool. And you said Cinderella?
And the fairy godmother.
You like the fairy godmother in that. What does she sing?
Bippy boppy boo.
Okay. And so yesterday, you and I, we watched a movie. We watched Coco. What did you think about that?
I think about it was good.
You thought it was good?
Yeah.
But you told me it was boring while we were watching it.
Well, now I think it's good.
Oh, okay. So we should watch it again sometime?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
It's a little long, so let's just watch half of it.
Okay. Emily, thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Okay.
We'll have you next time again, okay?
Yes. Just remember, come on stage and we're putting on a Butch in a movie show, okay?
All right, sounds good. I'll see you later.
We'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I think that's all the good bad movies we got this time.
This was
We'll probably be back for a part 2 and 3 and probably 15 of these.
Down the road.
However many Expendables movies, we'll make at least that many good bad movie pods.
Guys, I think this summer we're going to open up a little bit of a nostalgia section of our pod. And we've already talked about
SoundCloud playlist for nostalgia pods.
Doing those late 90s, early 2000s rap music that you listen to that either you can still listen to it or you can't. We've each got multitudes of
to
both. But how about syndicated TV shows that you
That's
just
a
can't
good
turn
one.
off when you're home in the afternoon or something? If you're
What
one of those
video
lucky
games
people.
were you playing when you were a kid in your
Old
in your
video
living room?
games
Yeah.
from your NES or
Going to Chuck E.
Sega
Cheese,
Genesis? Yeah. So if you have any suggestions about that, please feel free to give us some ideas about like some nostalgic, teenage, adolescent years stuff that we used to watch,
80s and 90s cartoons. Be another one right there.
Obviously that. I grew up on Ghostbusters.
You'd be in the 80s, I would be the 90s.
Yeah, because
you're old. I'm not.
Anyway, guys, thanks again for listening up.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah,
we're at APA something on Twitter. Email us podcastaboutSomething@gmail.com. You can listen on SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn, iTunes, Google Play, and I'm missing one now. SoundCloud.
You said SoundCloud.
Stitcher.
Doesn't matter. Stitcher.
iTunes.
You didn't say Stitcher. That's good. Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can catch us, guys.
Listen to us wherever you consume podcasts, and tell your friends to listen wherever they consume podcasts.
You can reach me on Twitter at ERICH_LADWIG. Also the same on Instagram or wherever you might find me. So
don't look for us on Facebook because we are not there, and we'll try to never be there because I'm on Facebook. I'm out on
Facebook a lot. So anyway, sorry, Mark Zuckerberg.
Don't steal my data, Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go
on
your
your site.
Anyways, thanks again, guys.
Or at least be secretive about stealing my data, like Google is. Google doesn't tell me they're stealing all my data, at least. All right.
So,
Stay
wrap
calm.
it. Guys, have a good night.
Stay calm.